there. Get every single last one of those political DC goons out of there. Disrespecting the president of the United States of America, booing and screaming and yelling and acting a plumb fool while the president is trying to talk. Can't even let the man talk. You don't disrespect the president of the United States of America during a joint speech?
There's a lot of people sometimes that say the same thing on social media, like have the same reaction to something. Sometimes it's and we're going to show a clip. Sometimes it's by design, and sometimes because it's just so true. And what Terrence K. Williams just said is something you said, and something I said, and something every sane, rational person in America, Joe, or in the world for that matter, who watched that speech the other night and saw what the Democrats are doing, used the same word to describe them. Children. They're children. They've shown themselves to be. I was young at the time when Tip O'Neill was the Speaker of the House. Tip O'Neill was not a child, okay? People I've intensely disliked on the political level because I disagreed with them. People like Bill Clinton. I'll give you an example. Bill Clinton would not have done that. I'm sorry. Like if Bill Clinton was a congressman, I don't know about Hillary. She probably would have sat on her hands. I wouldn't see Bill Clinton doing that. I really don't. Okay. Walter Mondale, Michael Dukakis. I don't care. Pick your Democrat from back 30 years ago. Doing what Rashida Tlaib in Illinois. Adam Schiff, Joe, sat there like this all night long. All night long. These people are absolutely children. There is no better way to describe them. How about that?
Well, I would say, I'd put it this way. I think they're so full of hate, they've lost all means of logic and rationality. They're so full. Hate does that to a person. And that is the result of it. But here's the thing I want people to pay attention to. 80% of CNN viewers, this isn't Fox, said that that's inappropriate. That's your voting base. If I'm an analyst, a Democratic analyst, all I would say is this: that was an absolute nightmare. That was a nightmare for your positions. Do you want to win? And that's not the way to do it. It comes right down to that. And frankly, if you don't want to win, keep it up. And I'm not the only one who's saying it. We're going to soon see a clip from Stephen A. Smith, but there are other Democrats who are saying the same thing. Jon Stewart, Bill Maher. They're basically saying you have to relook at your positions because Donald Trump beat you in every single swing state. I think the number is like 80-something, 87 counties flipped.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, that is a mandate. Every single swing state, you lost. So what you have to do is sit down and rethink your battle plan. And that is not doing that. Period. End of story. It was a horrible display. It did not serve you. And 80% of your voting base, because that's who's watching CNN, just told you that. So my question to all those people who are listening to my voice, who disagree with me, are you willing to change? Because if you're not, I don't think you're going to do too well in the midterms.
I can't see it. And we've said here at the front line with Joe and Joe before, I can't see how they think that this is going to be like one of those traditional historical cycles where the president of one party wins, and then 2 years later, and has the House and Senate, and 2 years later, the House and Senate, one or the other or both, flip to the other party. With what these children are doing, those 87 counties you just described that flipped. Okay, you're gonna retake the House and the Senate. How? By sitting there with signs that say lies and Musk steals, and Al Green waving his cane saying y'all should be impeached. Y'all should be impeached. Is that how you think? The American people are worried about right here, their pocket. Okay? That's the first and foremost thing, as we say at the show all the time. All right. Most people vote with their pocket. Another thing that they vote on is whether or not a person has a certain level of sanity. And you've shown yourself to be completely insane. By the way, with no real policy prescriptions, let's talk about that, Joe. They're not offering anything. Trump pointed to a girl who got spiked in the head by a volleyball that was rocketed at her by a male of the species because that male was allowed to play in her game and she's got permanent brain injury. And they sat on their hands.